So the Tikkun elevator kollel is now existing in what is the beginning of potentially very dangerous time for Jewish people. We'll see how it works out. We'll see what Hashem has in mind. And I'm trying to think of what can I do in order to reach Hashem. I don't know what to pray for. To me, it seems that the Jewish people in good times are a real mess. So we go off the derech deeply. We divide ourselves more and more and more into different kinds of stuff. But in times of danger, then all of that falls away. But I don't know. I'm not convinced that it's actually there. We have to see, because this is going to be an agony that's going to go on for some time. Right now, it's dominating world news. Today is the fourth day of Cheshvon, 5784, which is also corresponds to 10/19/2023 in the Western calendar. So here we have something which is eternal. Shaar Hagilgulim. Oh, we're using the Pirush Matak Medamash. It's amazing all the different things that he got into. So I think that by way of drush, by way of trying to think about where I am in the world, I want everything to remain good all the time. What good gets boring. Good means comfortable. That's what I meant. So now we're going through a situation where we're very uncomfortable, and we may become even more uncomfortable. It's surprising. Now the news they love this. They love the things that are going on right now, and they blow it up. But that's what the whole thing is, outrageousness. And then the reaction, what's going to be with the Jewish people? Everybody says we're united now, so we'll see. Because the threat is not going away. It's going to be a little bit agony going on now. But Hashem bless us. And so back to Shaar Gilgulim with the Pirush of the Matak Medavash. The Matak Medavash, Rabbi Daniel Frisch, lived through some of the most horrific events that one could possibly know. He was somehow miraculously survived the Holocaust. And he survived after the Holocaust, which is the Holocaust didn't end with World War II's end. People continued to die. Times were nobody wants to talk about it. So here we have Shaar back again. Shaar Hagilgulim. What in the world is going on in this bitter world? Where does it come out? What's the real truth? So you would think, well, the ARI wrote this book, but anything that the ARI wrote is very pessimistic. It always has to do with the real reality of what's up above us and what's inside of us. So last time, we had to try to, I guess, talk about, where are we here? Somewhere over here. We'll just pick up. I just don't know. I'm unplanned. And I offer this as a prayer to Hashem Yisbarach, that we should all really, that is the prayer for unity of the Jewish people, to come to one idea, and especially to come as close to Torah as possible. Let's see what he says over here in the Shaar Gilgulim. So he said, V'kein al derek zeh. So also in this way, K'dei l'chasig nishmasach l'shechah b'min habriya. Now remember the last time that we saw this. We said that there are 4 olamos. Now, we translate the word olamos as worlds, but you could also translate it as hiddennesses. That is, the hidden from the light of the Ein Sof Baruch Hu. Now, the closest hiddenness of the light is in what's called Olam Atzilus, which is right next to the light. It's the light is immediately inside of it, so to speak. But then there's another hiddenness, or another world, which is called Bria. And then beyond that, another hiddenness, more hidden, is Olam Yetzirah, Olam Asiyah, where we are located, called the world of wheels, the hiddenness of wheels, of cycles. So he says, here we say like this, so what's that all about? So a person actually has within him, or there is some kind of idea there is of the nature, the breakdown of the lights themselves of this world into the nefesh, ruach, neshama, chaya, yechida. And it would be that the most panimistic part of this, which is beyond our ken to be able to understand, would be yechida. And the most physical part of this light, which is manifest in human beings, in our lives, would be the light of nefesh. So he says, let's try to understand this. He says, it's not easy for me. I just popped into it again. So he says, the hasig nishma, so a person has to find in the neshama min habriya, from olam habriya. So it's therefore sheyisakein ha'adam kol chelke rucho b'chol yitzira. So it's necessary for the person to be able to make a tikkun in all of the portions of his ruach, in all of olam yitzira. So the person, the neshama in the... Let's go on. So he says, V'lo yaspik lo. Kasher yisakein makom prati shebo ne'echos shorish nishmaso. Rak tzarek sheyisakein k'nizgar. It has already have to be in a level of tikun. Ad sheyihi roya el kol ha'asiyah. Until you actually got to the what is fit for olam ha'lotziyah, v'oz yasig ruach ha'yitzira, and then you'll be able to access the ruach that comes from yitzira, v'al derech zeh b'shar ha'olamos, and in the same way in all of the rest of the worlds. Now, I will tell you that that was very difficult for me to understand. So I was trying to translate it, but it's not so easy. So let's go down into the Mata Kedevash and see. One of the things that we learned previously, I mean, it's been a long time, and maybe I should start it over, but it's so hard for me to keep going and going backwards. I'm a forward guy. So I'm the guy that exploring new worlds. If I explore them once, there's so much to see. I want to continue on. So I'll just do the best I can. So then we have this famous idea. So the neshama is attached to olam habriya, and I see that right there. The concept, this is a certain level of panemius. So the neshama is attached to there. So if you want this to be able to come towards you, so before that you have to be able to, before you can receive from the upper, which is actually, I'm sorry to say, is the inner as well, which means they came first. It's closer to the light of the Ein Sof Baruch Hu. In order to be able to receive that level, which is a level of the neshama, which is really related to the olam habriya, you have to have a tikkun take place in olam yitzira, and olam yitzira is the concept of ruach. Now, what we really want to do, as I'm not sure exactly where it's going with this is Shaar Gilgulim, just the Kabbalah of it, is that the light really needs to come to us down below. We're talking about Gilgulim here, so I'm not sure how it works. So he says, so if therefore you have to have a tikkun in the ruach, which is related to yitzira. So therefore the neshama, which is benemistic, is that you could have the bria inside of the yitzira, once the yitzira is the ruach is perfected. V'lo yaspek lo kasher yisake makom prati shebo nechaz shorish nishmasa, because he says yaspek lo kasher yisake makom prati shebo, when a person builds up a specific place inside of him, so that's what he has to do in order to be able to make a tikkun or hold on. His neshama could go into the rock sarge yisakein. It's called a ruchos shehem shorsho. So he has the person be able to do that. He has to make a tikkun in all of the ruchos that are come shehem mishorsho, that come from his root. That is the root of the neshama. So all of the things, the ruchos that are shaykh to that, also have to be mesukin. So how does that work? V'sof davar hu shetzaraka adan l'saken techila as kol shorsh nafsho sheba'olam ha'chasiyah. Now we had said previously that there's a match between these different words for soul. So we basically have 5 words for soul. And from the most outer word would be nefesh, and then inside of that would be ruach, and inside of that would be neshama, and inside of that would be chaya, and inside of that would be yechida. These are all levels of the light of the Ein Sof that's able to travel or manifest itself. Down here in Sheba Olam Asiyah, which is, again, the word olam, as we said before, really means helam, hiddennesses. Until he's filled all of his siyas together, and then he could receive the ruach the sakna. Then after that, after making a tikkun on all of the different aspects of the ruach, the yakabel nishmasa be'olam habriya kedei l'sakna, then he could be able to. Some of these ideas are really hard for me right now. Shema'olam habriya kedei l'sakna. V'al derek zeh. So therefore, in this way, b'shar ha'olamos, and all the rest of the worlds. He says, goes like that in all the rest of the worlds. He's really saying that the nature, let's see, of the light that's in the lower world, which is nefesh, has to be masukin before he could read the light of the whole, of a higher level than where we're at, which is olam yetzira, or ruach. And before that, the ruach can receive the neshama and etc. like this, it has to be able to be masukin such that it can be mekabelit. So we're building kalim is what we're doing, we're trying to do. Now what does this have to do with the price of tea in China? So he's a pirush hadavarim. So we'll explain this. Shamer harizal le'el shekol ish ve'ish shar sheyisachem es kol klalos olam ha'chasiyas, that is necessary for a person to make a tikkun in all of the different aspects of olam ha'asiyah. And the Shia Asa B'Torah, what is that you need to do? You have to learn Torah. Shebechsav lahafning pirush hamikra shechur b'elsiyah. Read this again. Shekasav lahave. So he says Shia Asa B'Torah, person shebechsav, written Torah, the Chumash. Lahaving pirush hamikra, in order to be able to understand the verses. Shehu b'chasiyah, which is olam hatziyah. Of a mitzvahs ma'isius, also that. Mitzvahs maisius, asher bechem kafi erik ha'asiyah kula. That is, what is acts of loving kindness? What does he mean? Hainu ayidecha be'esek b'kol the Torah shebechsav, by working on all of the Torah shebechsav. V'kiyum kol haramach mitzvahs asay, and then you're able to fulfill all the 248 positive commandments. Kadesha yusuk nocha b'kol bechinas adefasha. So in order to be able to make a tikkun in all the bechinas of the Tefasha Shal Olam B'Chasiyah Kula. Below Yaspig, it wouldn't be sufficient to Kayim Ezim Mitzvah Pratis Levad, so it wouldn't be sufficient to just be able to take that mitzvah, one specific mitzvah, Levad, Kifi Pratios Makum B'Chisas Nafsho Shi Mushrosh Bo Kenoda Shalokol Nefesh Yesh Mitzvahs Pratios Am Yuchasas Law. Every nefesh has certain mitzvahs that it needs to do, he says. Yitzarach b'hashlim atzbachu b'kol ramach mitzvah. Because a person, and now, so what's bothering me here is I don't know how you can do this with all my 248 parts that have to do with the mitzvahs I say, to be able to do them all. Yitzarach b'hashlim atzbachu b'kol ramach mitzvahs asay shebechasiyah. So this person, when he's able to do that, is able to make a shloma in the aspect of his nefesh. His nefesh has to do with this world, and the mitzvahs that we do in this world. Sheshorsham ba'olam asiyah. That's olam asiyah. He says that's Torah shebechsav. Well, so then let's go on. So let's say a person made a pagam in some aspect of this world of wheels and in cycles in which we live. Even though it isn't a place of the chiz of nafsha, sark l'sakno, you have to fix it. You have to be able to fix it. Well, what did he mean by that? He said, "Hagam sheyesh l'kol adam makom shorish nafsha hapratis, shuhu osa makom hapratis shebemenu chutzpah, that he was carved from." So, not sure how that's the best explanation, but these are the words. Person's nefesh is carved out. So he said, let's read the words. Hagam sheyesh l'kol adam makom shorish nafsha hapratis. Shuhu osa b'makom hapratish b'mena chutzpah. So there's some place from which his, so to speak, his DNA originated. Shesham iker negiyas tikuno opagmo, because there is where the relationship is the tikuno, to make it so opagmo, or he made a pagam. So let's see, in other words, he did something wrong. Im kol zecha maisim shala'anim pogmim o misaknim b'kolcha nitzutzos. So in any case, he says the maisim that the person does, they either make a lesion, or misaknim, or they repair b'kolcha nitzutzos, of all of the sparks of kedusha shehem krovim el shorsho, that are close to his shorish. But tzarek l'sachem as kulam. Then it's necessary to fix them all. Now we just dropped in here. I don't think I did a very good job. I'm going to take some time and try to think about this. We'll have another shiur and try it again. We're at a time of, my thinking is a time of the slaughter of Jews. All those nefashos, all those ruchos, all of those neshamas, etc. All of that life that God plants within it is been cruelly taken away because of a lot of it, because of bad ideas. We have to work very hard to be able to strengthen our minds, to strengthen our thoughts towards Hashem, and try to be able to fix ourselves up that we can makabel His light. It's Baruch Fleischman, and this is the Tikkun Elevator Kollel.